All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kristen. Today I'm back with another video here. This is not a game review. We have some injury updates. Just as you know, you're stabbing the knife into your heart and just twisting it. That's been pretty much what this has been here for the Flyers. This is from an email this morning from the Flyers PR staff. Please see the following injury updates from President of Hockey Operations and General Manager Chuck Fletcher. So this is kind of a long list, so let's kind of start off. Philadelphia Flyers forward Travis Konecny, upper body, is expected to be out approximately 10 to 14 days. Philadelphia Flyers forward Wade Allison, which is a hip pointer / oblique muscle strain, is expected to be out approximately 2 to 3 weeks. Philadelphia Flyers forward Cam Atkinson, upper body, remains out on a week-to-week basis. In addition, the Flyers announced the following players are progressing well since their respective surgeries and are still on track to return in their respective timelines. And again, progressing well is something to keep in mind. Flyers forward Sean Couturier and went back revision surgery and is still expected to return in 3 to 4 months since his surgery on October 27th. Forward James Van Riemsdyk underwent surgery on his left index finger and is expected to return in approximately 6 weeks from October 28th. Flyers forward Bobby Brink underwent hip surgery and is expected to return in approximately 5 months from July 21st. So 5 months from July 21st is December 21st. Brink is skating with the Phantom, so that is a good thing. JvR, that is an expected December 9th return for Van Riemsdyk. The Flyers take on Vegas that night in Vegas at 10 o'clock. So that could be the return for JvR. Around that, he has 17 days left of a 42-day recovery. That is 6 weeks. Couturier, obviously, still similar kind of thing. February, March would probably be my guess for Couturier. Atkinson on a week-to-week basis, again, it was a good thing to kind of to hear that as well, and it's good that he's back in Philly. He was in the press box last night. He was in Columbus, and he was just the reason he was skating with the team in Columbus was because he was there. He would just go and skate in the morning. Allison was there last night as well. Again, 2 to 3 weeks, and Konecny 10 to 14 days. Lawton is also 2 weeks as well. That other update is the Flyers have placed forward Scott Long on injured reserve due to an upper body injury. He's expected to be out approximately 2 weeks. Flyers have recalled forward Jackson Case from Lehigh Valley of the American Hockey League. So that is it's unfortunate because you have a lot of these guys, and again, I talked about this last night in the game review, that you have so many of these players where you're hurt and you're injured and you don't have majority of your players. But JvR has 17 days left in the good world. 17 days left. Konecny 10 to 14. Allison 2 to 3 weeks. That's 14 to 21. And Atkinson is week to week. So you're hoping, if all goes right, some of those guys can come back around that similar kind of time frame. Allison, 2 to 3 weeks from now, 10 to 14. JvR 17 left, and obviously Atkinson week to week. They could get, Konecny. My guess is Konecny probably comes back first, just by the way that this goes. It would again, and if I think part of it too is I don't want them to rush these guys back. I mean, they're all in like a similar kind of time frame, and I'm not sure about Lawton. I don't know if that's concussion. I don't think so. The way it looked, he did hit his head hard, but he also hit his shoulder. So I'm curious if it's the shoulder. But again, it's a little bit better because again, you're going into this week for the Flyers, and if you're looking at it, right, so they had Calgary last night. They were supposed to practice today, but that was turned into a day off. So the Flyers will not practice today, Tuesday, obviously now being 1:30 in the afternoon. prior to traveling to Washington for tomorrow's game, which is at 7:30 in Washington. Thursday will be an off day. I don't see that they wouldn't practice on Thanksgiving, and then Pittsburgh at 5:30 on Friday for a Black Friday game, and then the Islanders Saturday. So Flyers have back-to-back coming up. Washington tomorrow, and they are struggling as well. I mean, the Caps are not playing great hockey at the moment. You know, if you're just looking at the Capitals alone, right? Because again, I feel like a lot of teams in the league now have struggled, and not just like in the sense of not losing games, but like certain teams are just like teams that you wouldn't really expect to kind of be struggling. Washington right now, they're 7-10-3 with 20 games played. They're 2-6-2 in their last 10, and they're on a 4-game losing streak. They also have given up the second most goals in the Metropolitan Division at 67. The Flyers are close to that with 62. But Washington and Pittsburgh are two teams that are struggling as well. The Penguins have won 3 in a row. But right now, they haven't necessarily played as hot as they normally would be. And again, Pittsburgh isn't really that struggling. They're 9-7-3, but that's not really something that you'd expect Pittsburgh to be doing. Again, but I feel like a lot of teams have been struggling. Ottawa's another one. Like, again, like just looking at the standings, and for Washington, hasn't really gone great for them. So I'm curious to see if the Flyers can maybe get this on track, kind of take advantage of that as well. Another struggling team. Obviously, the Flyers have lost 7 in a row. All these guys are out. Again, it's going to be a tough game because the Caps are coming in off of some rest. They haven't played since Saturday. That was a 4-0 loss at home against the Avalanche. So they're definitely going to have some bite, and they're coming off of 4 days of rest where the Flyers played Monday, and had a day off. So we'll see what happens coming up. But if all goes right, the Flyers can get Konecny, Van Riemsdyk, Allison, Atkinson all back at a similar time frame. Hopefully that is the case. But we will see. Thanks everybody so much for watching. Again, check out the podcast. Going to be doing that again this week, and we'll be announcing that soon. And the Flyers fan club, all the stuff for that. And thanks everybody so much for watching. And I'll talk to you all again soon.